Hey, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to my presentation on ethical leadership, RES 803. Leadership Values and Ethics is the course. My name is Samuel Antomensa. I'll be taking you through the slides real quick. We'll look at introduction to ethical decision making, and then we'll look at ethical queries and ethical questions and how they help in the ethical decision making process. We then look at some live scenarios and dilemmas into industries. After that, um, jump to assessing organizational culture and how that helps leaders to develop the ethical leadership and ethical decision frameworks. With that said, let's jump into it. Before we move to ethical decision, we definitely need to understand ethical leadership. And basically, ethical leadership is leading an organization or a group by upholding ethical standards, values, and principles. It involves guiding and influencing others through ethical conduct and demonstrating integrity and fostering ethical culture within a group. And these forms the ethical leadership theory forms the foundation for servant leadership, transformational leadership, and other leadership, including authentic leadership. Now to ethical decision making. This involves a systematic process of identifying and evaluating options that aligns with ethical principles and values, considering the impact, of course, on stakeholders and ensuring actions adhere to moral values and societal norms. The importance of ethical decision making for organizations include building trusts among team members and mitigating risk, including operational risk, fraud, and also enhancing employees' morale once employees understand that leader is ethical and is upright, boosts the morale, and this ensures long-term success for the team and the organization. It also improves decision quality and safeguard reputation for the organization. Now we will look at ethical questions and how the ethical decision-making process is basically a vital part of ethical leadership that revolves around ensuring the desired outcome are achieved through ethical means and the potential consequences of actions on all stakeholders. So basically, when decisions are being taken, takes into consideration the means, how we are carrying out to execute whatever decision or what to be carried out as a result of the decision. Will be ethical, will be sustainable, will it hurt someone in the process. We have to look at individual's responsibility, that it goes a long way to help society and the values of the organization. And then we need to also question ourselves as to what benefits um, arise and the equitable distribution of the benefit as well as the harms to the company, society, and all stakeholders. Not to ensure that it's in a balance. Basically, ethical queries help um, balance this off and make sure that everyone is on the same page. The role of leadership in this is to inspire, motivate, and set clear ethical standards. Again, the leader needs to foster a culture of integrity by leading an example and promote continuous learning and development among the team in ethical decision making. Before one can engage in ethical queries, definitely it is crucial to proactively and critically examine one's action. And this exercise helps or enable a deeper reflection of one's actions and plans, which helps identify complexities within the plans, within your actions. And once that is identified, it's good to envision the right action should any complexity or dilemma arise. This process basically helps empower individuals to contribute and share understanding of ethical standards. And all this is facilitated by the leader. Once these activities, um, once this process is executed, it enhances sympathy, it helps encourage continuous reflection, and it helps with critical thinking among employees. It helps identify the principles and values of the organization and the group, which broadens the ethical framework and understanding of all parties involved. Indeed, doing this helps navigate scenarios and in anticipation of whatever may happen in the future, understand the implication of what will come. The leader stands at the middle of all this, being a transformational leader or authentic leader is basically to open up conversations and ensure that dialogue transpires within the group and ensures that employees are empowered and then to raise concerns where necessary. And the leader is to ensure and foster a culture of open communication, which ultimately leads to a more ethical, friendly environment and an effective organization. We will quickly jump to some ethical dilemmas. You look at two of them. One is the trolley problem in the automobile industry. Then the second one will have to do with the dilemmas that arise with COVID-19. Let's start with the trolley problem. The trolley problem basically um, explains how one life could be sacrificed for many. Indeed, during the malfunctioning of an automated driving vehicle or self-driving vehicle, is it that the algorithm could be programmed or is programmed to save the lot from harm and sacrifice one? But the main question is who imagines whose life is more valuable? And in fact, programming AVs to make these decisions require encoding ethical framework, and this is complex as questions arise about prioritizing which lives and then considering individuals' characteristics and ensuring fairness. Who takes that decision? Ethical choices made by AV significantly impact public trust. As if people perceive AVs to be making unethical decisions, they may resist that option. In fact, transparency is then needed in the AV decision-making process and is crucial for accountability and ethical governance. Ultimately, the trolley problem highlights the challenge and a very big challenge that stares us all in the face of translating human morality into algorithmic code, autonomous systems. With that said, we know AI is now what is driving organizations and how ethics will be encoded is another question. Now, the second part that we look at is the COVID-19 and its dilemmas. Basically, in the heat of the COVID-19, um, organizations and governments across the globe get to make some sacrifices, and these didn't come easy. One of the issues had to do with the allocation of resources. Limited medical supplies needed to be used effectively to either save young adults who has a lot of life ahead of them, or save anybody at all, including old men who are over 60, 70 years, to fulfill the utilitarian view. This was a dilemma across the health sector. The government needed to choose economic stability and public health, choose between the two. And the choice wasn't easy since the governments were losing revenue from lockdowns and shutdowns at the expense of public health. It was a necessary evil. Again, people needed to be quarantined in their houses against their rights, and that was a dilemma that the government went through and needed to take as emergency regulations. The government also needed to control information by reassuring people instead of letting them know what the actual truth is, which could, of course, have thrown chaos around. So all these are among some of the dilemmas that governments and health institutions need to take to ensure that they maneuver through the complexity of the COVID-19 pandemic. In all this, the leader or leadership needs to guide employees in navigating this, and this was done by establishing clear ethical standards and revisiting them during the period and encouraging open dialogue and collaboration among all stakeholders. Again, leader needs to promote accountability and responsibility and needs to be the role model for ethical behavior. Leader, from time to time, needs to reflect the ethical stakes and goals within the group. And this is what leaders do to create that environment of accountability and ethics. Yes, so we will then have to look at how assessing organizational culture helps helps in understanding the ethical leadership of teams. Assessing organizational culture in the context of ethical leadership or ethical decision making in the AV industry, for instance, is crucial because it reveals ethical priorities of what they intend to do. In fact, the importance of examining the culture of ethical decision making helps us know the foundation of values and norms. It also helps us, it helps the leaders guide behavior. It can help us understand the influence of such behavior and the values and norms on decision making. This helps leaders promote accountability and identify risk and manage them. And in fact, it also enables us to understand the impact of such foundational values and norms on employee engagement and retention. Authenticity, transparency, and then reward system has an important role to play as far as ethical leadership is concerned. Authenticity inspires trust and loyalty. It means that the leader becomes a model, very authentic to his views and the values of the organization. And this makes the work environment very open for employees. Transparency helps trust and accountability. It opens up sharing information and enhances employee understanding on whatever transpires on ground. Again, reward systems and recognition programs is one program that ethical leadership use to create positive environments and helps bring out the best in their employees and reaffirms their good and discourages the bad. In all this, the moral leader is at the center, setting ethical standards, fostering open dialogue, setting the agenda, role modeling, and inspiring and empowering teams is the role, is the role the moral leader plays. So within authenticity, transparency, and reward system, it is important that we know that it's the moral leader or the ethical leader who's at the center of it. By championing authenticity, transparency, and reward ethical behavior, moral leaders create a robust ethical framework that fosters trust, drives cultural change, and enable organizations to navigate challenges effectively when aligning with ethical standards and social expectations. And this will bring us to the end of the discussion. There are a couple of references from the work. Thank you and good night.